Hi, I've got something to put my Garmin on my handlebars. I've also got something to put my action camera on my handlebars. But what about something that can do both at the same time? Welcome to Cycling on a Shoestring, and this time we're going to be taking a look at something that kind of gets the clutter off my handlebars on my road bike. And right now I do have a couple of GPS from Garmin. I've got the 500, I've got the 800. So I think this will be a good test so we can see how this particular gadget I bought will help me when it comes to putting these on my bike as well as these at the exact same time. Right now I have an up front bar fly mount, so basically it reaches off my handlebars and I can put my GPS sort of off the front of my bike, right in the middle, which is absolutely perfect. But I'm going to be going on some interesting rides this year. I've got my annual pilgrimage that I do from Kananaskis Village in Kananaskis country here in Alberta, Canada. And I go up to Highwood Pass, which is the highest road crossing in the Canadian Rockies, 2,209 meters, and back. And I always do that first, second week of June because right now the pass is blocked off to allow wildlife and for snow to melt at the top of the pass as well. So I'll be doing that in a couple of weeks. I wanted something where I could mount this on my bike at the same time as I mount this. And right now I've got this particular mount if I want to put my action camera, either my Victure or my GoPro on. It just doesn't work because you could put it on the stem, but this little groove right here isn't quite the right size for it. Otherwise you have to put it on your bar like this. And then you have to put another little piece on here to put your camera on the top. Then it's sticking up off the top of your bars. It kind of gets cluttered. You need the room for your hands. So I decided to go out and buy something completely different. And this is something I just bought from RockBros, Rock Brothers, and I've used other things that these guys make. You may have seen a video I've got right here on my channel of a balaclava that I used in the wintertime, which I really liked. So I found this online from Amazon.ca for $29.99. Now I did find other gadgets very similar to this that will mount a Garmin and a GoPro or an action camera at the same time. Found them as cheap as $17.99, but they would take 5-6 weeks to get here. I needed it quicker, so I paid a little bit more and I got this in one day, $29.99, taxes and everything in. So I'm going to put this on my bike right now, then I'm going to take it out and I'm going to see how the action camera works on it. Because I know that they do make these in plastic. This one's aluminum. From what I understand, the plastic ones bounce a little bit, so you get some really shaky video. This is completely aluminum, so let's take a look at it now. Let's see what's in the package. I haven't even opened it, and we'll see how it attaches up to the bike as well. So this is what we've got for the packaging. It just says Rock Brothers. I think it's Chinese underneath it as well. Nothing written on the back. So let's get into the package and let's see what's in here and take a look at the actual thing that will help me when it comes to mounting my Garmin and my action camera on my bicycle. Let's get everything out of the package. Over here looks we've got a couple of Allen wrenches as well. A little piece of paper. I'm assuming this is the instructions. Let's take a look. It's instructions, but it's all in Chinese. So that's of no help to me at all, so we'll get rid of that as well. And so we've got the actual gizmo itself, and let's take a good look at that. It's got Rock Brothers on the top, so this will be the top of the bar right here, and it'll be out this way, so your GPS will go on like this, so you get your Garmin on there like that. It snaps on. Actually, it snaps on nice and snug. You can hear it click. We'll put it on there again. Listen. Snaps right on, so that's perfect. And we'll try my larger one because the Garmin 800 is much, much bigger. Put that on there as well. Oops, let's try it this way. There we go. Okay, and it snaps on as well. So there's lots of room on there. I don't think this is going to be any problem when you actually get it on your bar. So that's going to be no issue at all when you put it on your bike. So anyway, it does come with a couple of little pieces of rubber here. Now this is for a 31.8 millimeter bar. So this isn't going to work on your average mountain bike. Nowadays. They're much bigger than this, maybe in an older style one, but they give you these little pieces of rubber. I think that's just to make sure that it doesn't slide around on your bars. We'll see how it fits on. I'm going to put it on my bars in just a moment to see how it fits. But they do give you these little Allen wrenches, this one right here, to remove this bolt. And this is all metal, by the way, okay? So you can remove this bolt out of here so you can put your action camera on here. Now, I'm not sure. I'm assuming that you can use the regular thumb screws that come with a GoPro on here, but it does not have a recessed part right here. You know, on most things when it comes to a GoPro, they have a little recessed part for that hex nut to sit in so you can tighten it up. I'm assuming you could use that, but once you put the GoPro on there or your action camera on there, that'll tighten up. They got a little bit of blue Loctite on there as well to keep it from moving around. So it looks like it's really well made. Made out of a couple of pieces of aluminum, so it's going to be nice and stiff. It's pretty solid. I'm wondering how this hinge will work, but I think once you get it on the bike, I don't think you'll have any issues at all. This looks really solid up here. This piece right here is plastic, and they do give you this Allen key, so you can remove this if you'd like. You can take that right off of there, and you can remove this piece from the bottom if you want to. Maybe if you're not using your camera, you can take that off, so maybe it makes it look a little neater on your bike. Nothing written on the bottom. You do have these little screws down here, or these little bolts down here as well, which you can remove if you wanted to do that. Now, there is something else that does come in the package, which I think is kind of a nice little addition. It's this, which you can attach to the bottom. Fits right in here like this, and it's for putting a light on your bike. I've got a mag light here, just to give you an idea how this works. That goes on there like that. Pretty simple. This stretches over here like this, and then you've got a light you can hang on the front of your bike. And as I said, I think off the top, you can get lights that do have this GoPro type mount on them. So that'd be really slick. Put a nice 350 lumens light on the front of your bike, and you're good to go at nighttime. So overall, it looks like a solid little package. I'm going to see how it looks on my bike. Let's do that right now, and in just a little bit, we'll go out and we'll take a look and see how it looks on the bike and actually how the video looks when it's being used on the road. So I was just looking at what I've got on here. I've had this barfly mount on here for my Garmin for a very long time. This is made out of plastic, which is perfect if you're using a GPS. Again, the RockBros is made out of aluminum, and you can see here that it definitely is going to be a little bit further out front of my barfly. I'd say probably a good inch, 2.5 centimeters. So it's going to be a little further out front, but that'll allow extra room, I think, for the camera to hang underneath it. Really no issue at all. So what I'm going to do now, we'll take the barfly off, which has been on there for a long time, and we'll put the RockBros up front mount on there. We'll see how it looks on the bike with the Garmin on the top, and we'll put a GoPro on the bottom. Okay, so I didn't use any of that rubber that they provide you with so that it will be snug on there. I think it's pretty good the way it is. I may change it, but right now it looks pretty good. Let's try the Garmin 500 on there. Lots of space, obviously. I'll probably center it just a little bit better. I could move it over just a little bit, but overall that is pretty good. And I'll try this one. There's the 800, snaps on there really good. Again, yeah, we'll move it over just so it's centered. Kind of want to have it exactly the way you want it. You can see it's just off by a little bit there. So those fit on there really nice. Feel good and solid on there. Don't feel any movement at all, so that's looking good. Let me put the GoPro on the bottom, and we'll get a little different angle on this so you can see both of them on the bike at the same time. Then we'll go out on the road, see how the video looks with this on the front end of my bike. Okay, so let's see how this works on here. Loosen that little bolt. See how it slides in, because sometimes these things can be tight, but you want them just to be snug, but not overly snug, right? Seems to go in there pretty good. And again, I think the thumb screws would work on this. Maybe I'll do another video and we'll see if that works. But right now, I'm really no problem with just using this. It'll lock in there nice. And want to take it off? I always have Allen wrenches with me. Take the camera off anytime I want. Just tighten that on there. And of course, you can snug it up, so it's pretty good. Let me see if I can tighten it up so that it won't move at all. I'll just give it a little bit extra torque. And that definitely, so it definitely tightens it up so that it won't move at all. So there's no movement there at all. It's going to take something, you're going to have to bump it in order to move it. It won't wiggle around. So I think it looks pretty good on there. You can take a look at it from side to side here. I think that's going to be an awesome addition and make the video just terrific on the bike. Now, it's all a matter of, having pretty good stabilization. And this is a GoPro. This is a GoPro 5, Hero 5. So the stabilization is pretty good on this. I'm not riding on trails, so overall, I think it's going to be a pretty good addition to the bicycle. Get stuff off the bars as well, and make the video, I think, look terrific straight ahead from the bike. So I think that's awesome. I think it's going to be a terrific addition to the bicycle. And I think what we need to do now is go out on the road and get some video. So I'm outside about to take a ride to try out the out front mount for my Garmin and my action camera. I've got the GoPro on the bike right now. We'll see how it works on there. I'm actually shooting this with the Victure AC600 Action Camera that I did a review on my channel. If you want to check it out, I paid $89.99 for this camera. I think the video is pretty good on it. It shoots in 4K as well. But let's take a look at this on my bike and see how it looks. Pretty pleased with the way it does look on there right now. Mounts really nicely. And I might angle the Garmin a little bit more, may angle it back just a little bit. We'll see how it looks when I'm on the bicycle. I've got it up against this fence because there's a little bit of a breeze today, so I want to avoid any wind noise here, but it looks pretty good on there. Gives you lots of space. That camera's far enough out front that it's not going to run into any problems with cables. But the proof is in the riding. We'll see how this works. We'll see if it kind of adjusts down or bounces around a little bit. See what the footage is like. Again, I've got the GoPro Hero 5 action camera on there, which does have stabilization, so it should look pretty good. Let's go for a ride, try it out. Got a bit of a surprise ending to my RockBros upfront Garmin action camera mount for my bike. I got about 19 kilometers into my ride today when I noticed this. You can see the movement on the mount itself, okay? So the problem is this is basically a three-part gadget. You've got this piece here. You've got the piece underneath, so this is a hinge that attaches to your bar, and then you've got this straight piece right here that you can see. It's held on by two little bolts under there. I hope you can see that. They're very small bolts. I would say maybe a 2mm Allen wrench. Now, this is the second time it's come loose. It was much looser than this only about 3 or 4K ago. It's coming loose again. So my question would be, do you want to trust your expensive, GPS on your bike and your expensive action camera to something like this that may fall off? Now, you can see those bolts. The one at the back there, when I tightened it up earlier, was coming out. So any longer, it probably would have lost that little bolt and maybe lost the front one, and then obviously your GPS and your action camera go tumbling off your bike. Now, I suppose you could put Loctite on those little bolts to hold them in there, but it seems like there's a lot of play there. So I don't know how much Loctite's going to do. And again, are you going to trust that piece of metal and those two little bolts when you've got hundreds of dollars worth of action cameras and GPS on your bike? I'm not going to trust it. I'm sending it back. But I'm not going to give up. I want one of these for my bicycle, but I do not recommend buying the RockBros. I'm going to take it off of my bicycle right now. I'm going to put my action camera in my bike jersey. I'm going to put that mount in my bike jersey, and it's going to go back to Amazon. $29.99. If you want to risk it, it's up to you. I'm not risking my expensive electronics on that piece of hardware on my bicycle, so I cannot recommend the RockBros out front mount for your Garmin and your action camera. Can't recommend it at all. It's going back. Hey, listen, if this video was helpful to you, please give it a like. Please subscribe to the channel as well. Ring the bell so you get notifications of upcoming videos, because I have a feeling I'm going to be doing another video on one of these things pretty soon. Thanks a lot for watching Cycling on a Shoestring.